Hey guys, happy Sunday and welcome to your programming brief for the upcoming week of training, at least for the CrossFit classes. Obviously, please be aware that there's a slightly altered timetable with a few new times for speciality classes across the week to accommodate the maintenance that's happening in Arch 16. So just quickly on that, thank you everyone so far for just being really flexible. And I think that's just the way it's going to have to work over the next couple of weeks. Just turn up to the gym and we'll kind of point you in the right direction to where the classes are going to take place. The timetable that we sent out last week, or must have been the week before now, actually the end of that week, has the arches where you're training in on them. And we're going to try as hard as we can to stick to those. And you'll see that reflected in the programming where there'll be limited barbells and limited gymnastics work when you are in Arch 14, which is the new arch. But bearing that in mind, let's just dive in and we'll talk about what we're doing this week. So looking at Monday, it's an upper body pressing bias. And you'll see that again, there's just the workout up on Modify. That doesn't mean that's the only thing we're going to be doing today, but the workout is essentially a combination of push press and then handstand push-ups. So it's fatiguing your upper body pressing and then testing its ability to do gymnastics under that fatigue, which is a really cool concept. And I think you're going to get a lot from it, whether it's strength or just figuring out how you can be a bit more efficient in the handstand push-up when you are tired. So what we'll do over the course of the class is just get ourselves ready for the weightlifting, the push pressing, but also have a really good in-depth look at the handstand push-ups. So for those of you who are kind of on the brink of unlocking that skill, maybe this is the session where you get your first handstand push-up, or at least push the needle closer to unlocking that movement. But upper body pressing bias on Monday. If we look then ahead to Tuesday, this one is timetabled to be in Arch 14, and as a result there is some gymnastics in there, but we don't need the rig or any wall space for the gymnastics. Instead, we're going to be doing some pistol squats. You'll see them up and modify as single leg squats. So running and single leg squats, you've got 5 rounds for time. You'll notice this is working with a partner, so I'll let you have a look at that on Modify to kind of figure out what that actually entails and how the session's structured. But over the course of the session, of course, that's the only thing kind of on Modify is the workout, similar to Monday. We will also be having a really good look at the single leg squat, which is a skill that we don't spend all that much time practicing in the gym unless you're coming to gymnastics classes. That's something that we don't really focus on all that much. So a really cool one, and some of you might surprise yourself if you've never tried that before. Maybe you've got that in the locker, who knows. Looking forward then to Wednesday, if we keep this rolling. I just clicked something and now it's not loading. There we go. So looking at Wednesday, we've got a slightly different looking workout to maybe some that you've seen before. Instead of toes to bar, we're doing a movement called knees to elbow, which if any of you have actually tried knees to elbow, arguably a lot harder than toes to bar. So we'll play around with that. You've got kind of 3 AMRAPs. The AMRAPs increase in duration as you progress through. The AMRAPs are split with some rest, and as the AMRAPs increase, so does the rest. That's its kind of saving grace. But as you progress through the AMRAPs, you add more movements. So you go from knees to elbow and wall balls to finally knees to elbow, wall balls and box jump overs. But again, I'll have you look at that on Modify to kind of figure out that session, and the coach will take you through all of the progressions before you dive into that workout. Let's move then on to Thursday, getting through this nicely. Thursday, again, a slightly longer workout, a really conditioning biased focus with some rowing intervals of varying distances, and it's a kind of a clever way of putting the row intervals in with varying rest and then burpees under fatigue. So the way it works is a round, and you've got 5 rounds for basically total reps. You row hard for 20 calories, 20 seconds, then you rest for 40 seconds, and then you flip that. So you row hard for 40 seconds, rest for 20 before doing a minute worth of burpees. So you kind of have to think a little bit more tactically about how you approach that. Before we get into that, we're going to play a game of rolling. which some of you will have done before, where you have to row your machines up to 100 meters, and then anywhere before or after 100 meters, you'll get a penalty. But I'll let your coach take you through that. That should be a really good, fun, sweaty day as well. And then looking finally at Friday, never loads. We've got some strength work in the form of back squats. Instead of having just the structure of every 3 minutes times 5 or whatever, I've put this in the format of an EMOM. So you're going to accumulate a load of volume over a short space of time, which is definitely going to test your muscular strength endurance at a quite high percentage at 80%. And then we're finally doing Gwen. So for those of you who took the time to actually watch my video at the beginning of this programming cycle, you will have remembered that the bias has been towards clean and jerk barbell cycling, as well as kind of other barbell cycling variations, but mainly clean and jerk, to the point where we were going to then test Gwen, and that's what is coming up on Friday. So this is a test workout. You've got an 18-minute time cap. When you look at Gwen, it's clean and jerks 15, 12, and 9. And essentially what you're trying to achieve is unbroken sets on all of those. So you can rest between your 15s, your 12s, and your 9s. And you need to essentially choose the weight that you're going to use across those sets. But I'll let the coach on the day explain a little bit more about that. But please make sure you're getting your score for that into Wodify. I'm going to leave it there because I've done 6.5 minutes of talking, and I feel quite pleased with myself that I've managed to get through all of that within such a short space of time. If you have any problems, questions, issues about the programming, about the structuring of the classes, just come and find one of us in the gym and we'll do our best to help you out. But like I said at the very beginning, just make sure you're looking at the timetable. There's yoga now on a Monday night, where usually it'd be on Tuesday. There's different times for strength and gymnastics across the course of the week. So just keep on it, keep checking Wodify, and we'll do our best to make sure that you guys are having ample opportunity to train in the gym. I'll see you in the gym.